The following presentation is brought to you by TournamentPokerEdge.com. Welcome to PokerRoad Radio, featuring the very best in pokertainment with Jimmy Fricke and Brian Devonshire. And now, today's PokerRoad host, Court Harrington.
Welcome to PokerRoad Radio, the very best in pokertainment, or whatever we can scrape together 10 minutes before the show. Welcome to Brian Devonshire and Jimmy Fricke. It's good to have you guys back on again, and thanks to Tournament Poker Edge, the sponsor of PokerRoad Radio. Glad to have them on board. You can check out their multi-table tournament training site at TournamentPokerEdge.com. No sign-up fee. It's $20 a month, so hop in there, check out some videos, and there's no commitment. So if you feel like you got what you need in a month or you don't want to continue, you don't have to. But you'll probably like what you see over there. Jimmy, what's going on?
Well, I forgot that this was happening. So when I received a phone call that this was happening, I was still asleep. But now I'm here, and I'm partially awake, and I'm ready to just sit in the dark and talk to you people on the internet.
I was going to ask if the power was out in Vegas.
No, I just realized that I would probably break the stream if you guys saw me in my full light, so I decided I'd let my eyes wait to adjust to the light and just talk to you guys in the dark.
Fair enough. Devo, when we call Devo, he answers. He has on no shirt, and I think he had been awake for, I would set the over-under at 90 seconds on how long he had been out of the bed.
No,
oh yeah, I have that beat. I'm actually still in my bed. I'm still actually in my bed right now, so I think I have that beat.
I got the pot of coffee going first, and then I turned on the computer, and yeah. I'm shirtless, and my hair's all brown. Like, what the hell's my picture doing on there? Damn you, TV radio people! We have faces for radio, for fuck's sake!
I know. This is not fair at all. I didn't sign up for this bullshit.
Oh, well, we will be adding another face to the mix here in a little bit. Casey Jarzabek, one of the lead instructors over at Tournament Poker Edge, and for a while he was leading the Online Player of the Year race. We're going to check in with him and see what he's got going on, how the Online Player of the Year race is going for him, and what else he has in the works. We're going to add him into the call here in about 20 minutes. But for now, let's talk about the WCOOP main event just when this is all over now. Did either of you guys play?
I played.
I actually didn't play. This is my first time in 4 years not playing.
Jimmy, have you retired from poker?
It certainly seems that way. I think, and when I realized that it was the first time since I started playing poker that I haven't played the WCOOP main event, I was like, wow, I'm basically retired now. But, I don't know, like, shit's been going on and had some trouble with my backers, and hopefully in the future things are going to turn around, but when, downswings suck and they don't make me want to play more, so we'll see how it turns out.
Cool. Devo, how'd it go for you?
Never could make anything happen at all. I mean, some tournaments happen like that, and both my main events this year were that. I ended up losing 2 flips. The last one was Jacks to Hoss TBS Ace King, and I was done early. Went and got drunk in Laughlin.
How did you get there?
Well, I went to meet Jared over at Half Shell and said, hey, you want to go to Laughlin? And he said, yeah, and we left. About 90 minutes away on the river.
Other than the WCOOP main, there was also the WCOOP High Roller 10K mix game. Any consideration of playing that, Devo?
No. I played the 3K or the 5K last year, and the year before I bubbled it, so that was sweet. But
yeah.
No, not this year.
There was a lot of drama that happened in it today. I don't know if you guys saw this, or not today, this year, with Kirby Nader in like the last 2 or 3 tables left. Did you guys hear about this?
What happened?
Yeah, but tell us the story, Jimmy.
Okay. Well, Kirby is this guy who's been around for, I don't know, a couple years now, playing high stakes cash and now high stakes MTTs, and he's been running sick hot. So he's like pretty well known. And he played this tournament because he's up a lot of money and he sold action for it. And apparently he knew how to play the games okay, not great, but he had no idea how to play triple draw. Like he played it like 50 hands before of it or something. And with like a table to go until the money, apparently he started like completely stalling in the triple draw. He may have even done this before. I wasn't sure. But he started stalling in the triple draws because unlike most live tournaments, for the online tournaments for the mixed games, they're doing it by time, not by number of hands. So if you stalled in one game, you'd end up playing less hands of that. So he started doing this, and his whole table and the rail and forums and everyone just started berating the shit out of him for it. And it was really, I thought it was pretty childish, because I agree that it's like, the thing is, it's allowed on Stars, because they can't stop him. But it's against, like, the spirit of the rules. Like, that's why they don't allow it, like, live, and, like, mixed game players hate this because, it's against the spirit of the game. And I think that he just wasn't aware of that. But I think it was pretty interesting, and it was very polarizing, and it, like, spawned a couple huge threads on 2+2, so I thought it was worth mentioning. But the one thing that was pretty not right was Dale Negreanu was, like, calling him out at the table, too. And I feel like if you're a Star-sponsored player, you shouldn't be doing that.
My first reaction to this is, poker is not a time game. In football, if you develop a strategy to slow down the game, if you think that you're an inferior team, you want to shorten the game to give yourself the best chance to win, and that's different. Same thing in basketball, whatever. It's a strategy and a time-based game, but poker is not that. And so I'm not a big fan of the stalling, but at the same time, from somebody that plays a lot of strategy games, you take the rules of that game and you give yourself the best chance to win within the rules. And so I think this falls more on Stars, especially for a mixed game format. Maybe they need to consider some way to handle this situation. I don't know what that would be, because I think playing a certain number of hands in each rotation could have some logistical issues with the game being pretty slow, or having people sitting around waiting for a long time, which isn't a great result either. But when you're talking about
that's totally the way you gotta go. You totally gotta just make it hand-based. That way every single table's playing, 6 or 8 hands, depending on the table size. And they've already got the software to do that. That's how they run the cash games. So, it wouldn't be that hard to implement, and that would just solve this problem immediately.
Yeah, I agree. And not to mention, it's actually a lot better for the game, just because in games like Limit Hold'em that goes super, super fast,
right,
then you're not getting, like, twice as many hands as you would, like, a big stud 8-pot or triple draw or something. Because triple draw takes a long time, and the game plays big, but if the game were to take a long time and the game played really small, for something like PLO or No Limit Hold'em, then, it's not really even worth it to play the game, because, you're going to get, like, half as many hands, and the hands are all tiny.
Right. And, when you get down heads up, 3-handed things like that, if you get stuck on, like, Limit Hold'em, then you're basically playing this 8-game tournament heads up playing just Limit Hold'em, because you get like 15, 20, 30 minutes to play a game, and you're cranking out a ton of hands there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do think that the issue here falls more on the sites than the player, because, so in this case he was being extreme about it, but, say in that instance it's Limit Hold'em. Maybe you're not running your time bake out every hand, but if you don't like Limit Hold'em, you take an extra 10 seconds for every decision, and there's nothing wrong with that. You say, hey, this game is not a game I'm not as good at, so I'm going to take longer and make sure that I'm thinking through every decision. And, that's a legitimate justification, but it's also slowing the game down. So
it has something to do with intent, though, because he clearly was intending to not just take extra time to make decisions. He was running out his clock every single time, just to make sure that like the game took as long as possible. Which when he played a hand took a long freaking time. Like they give you a lot of time to act on every decision, especially in one of these big tournaments. So.
Right.
Well, he wasn't breaking any rule, and he was breaking the spirit of the rule, and I think that he's getting the consequences deserved. A whole lot of berating and bad PR, I guess. But
I agree with that completely, but at the same time, since he didn't know really this was the spirit of the rules before he did this, I think this time he should get a free pass.
Well, and there's the same context in no-limit hold'em tournaments, too. I don't think it has anything with being a mixed game. I'm sure he's been around the bubble of a no-limit tournament.
Well, I mean, if someone plays the mixed game and shows up to, like, your 100, 200, whatever, like, horse game, and they have never played a mixed game before, you obviously want them there. And they're playing, and you notice that every single time there's, like, a stud high, they're not there. They, like, take a walk. Obviously, this is against the spirit of the rules. Like, you should let this guy, or he should be there playing stud high. Or if he's taking a break, he doesn't necessarily have to do it on stud high every single time. And they freaked out against people on websites before for this. Full Tilt especially. Right. David Singer was like sitting out of the flop games. And so, like, I think if the person doesn't know the rules, you should treat them differently, as though they're just choosing to ignore the rules. And in this case, I think he was just like, he just didn't know that this was such a big deal. It's a mixed game specific thing.
Jimmy, I'm pretty big on that, but in a $10,000 tournament, that's a pretty hard argument to float.
Well, that's the thing. Like, for a $10,000, and just because the size of the tournament is super huge, like, we have people who play these huge tournaments who have never played them before. So you still have to be accommodating to them. And in this tournament specifically, people should be, like, trying to attract the newer players, and you should be accommodating to them when they play. Because it's not like, you know, a special club. Because the mixed game players are desperate for new blood. Like, they will admit this. So, I think you have to be forgiving in situations like this. I really think so, at least.
I got a question for you. Do you think the game, would you rather be in this game where somebody's stalling that has played a limited amount of one game and probably not a ton of the other games either, I'm assuming? Would you rather have that person in the game stalling or, you know, take his money out of the prize pool altogether and have the game run more normally? I run into this a lot in the games I play in around here, that, you know, a lot of the people, they do a lot of things that are against the etiquette of poker. There's one guy that loves the slow roll, but that's just what he does. He just thinks it's funny. And he's losing thousands of dollars in this game, so should I really ever care if he slow rolls me? No, I laugh along with him, and I have a good time with it. It's no big deal.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can see both sides of this, but I think the solution part falls on the site. And because if you make something available to people within the rules, somebody's going to take advantage of it. Maybe not to this extreme, but it's still going to be taken advantage of at lesser degrees. And, you know, Devo gave a very few concrete examples of exactly how drastic the difference could be depending on where you're at in this tournament. So
I agree with you completely. I agree with all of those points.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's take a quick break and see if we can grab Casey Jarzabek on the phone and see what he's had going on lately. Before we do that, though, real quick, Stapes is going to have shows Friday and Saturday, so you guys can leave him a voicemail at 877-836-ROAD, 877-836-ROAD, or you can send an email to PokerRoadRadio@PokerRoad.com. We'll be back. More Poker Road Radio right after this.
Every Sunday night at 9:15 East Coast time, the Poker Road League meets at Broadway Tables for Season 6. This is a weekly no-limit hold'em MTT with a $33 buy-in, a $50 bounty, $1,000 in value added to the leaderboard, and over $3,000 in value added to the championship game. Don't wait until next season to get started. The top 80% of the leaderboard will qualify for the championship event, so it's never too late to get in on the action. A flattened payout featuring 9 cashes means you rack up points and roll over your cash into a buy-in for the next event. After just 4 events, almost $3,000 have been wagered and $200 in bounties collected. Details are available at PokerRoad.com and BroadwayTables.com. So meet us at Broadway Tables Sundays at 9:15 p.m. for the Poker Road League.
All right, listen up, poker players, because I've got some positive fashion EV advice for you. Don't think there's a such thing as positive fashion EV? Well, stick around, because I've got the latest news from BustOutPoker.com. BustOutPoker.com has been busy adding players to their team and gear to their store. Check out brand new premium Bust Out U hoodies in the online store, along with old Bust Out favorites like I Am Isildur 1 tees and Team Bust Out hats. So head over to BustOutPoker.com right now and pick up the gear that gave Team Bust Out Pro Chad Brown the ultimate fashion ROI, Vanessa Russo. That's BustOutPoker.com. Check it out at BustOutPoker.com.
Welcome back to Poker Road Radio, brought to you by TournamentPokerEdge.com, and we are now joined by one of the lead instructors at Tournament Poker Edge, Casey Big Dog Pocket Fives Jarzabek. Casey, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
Hi, Casey.
Hey, what up?
You, of my crew here, you look by far to be the most awake and alert. Are you already putting in some hours online today?
No, my grind will start after this. I didn't want to have anything going until after this interview. So, yeah, I will be grinding, but I'd actually got some sleep last night because I didn't have a great night last night, so I got to bed early.
Fair enough. When I was talking to you last night on IM, you told me you were 15 tabling, and we had you downloading Uvu, and you were talking on IM. How do you do it, man? That seems like a lot of things going on at once.
Well, sometimes it's not easy, and sometimes it's a little tilting if you're, multi-tabling and people are sending you IMs and stuff like that. But, once you do it for years and years, it just gets easier and easier and easier.
What are you playing with that many tables?
Well, I'm trying to play mostly tourneys that just qualify for the Online Player of the Year. But then I see some juicy stuff like the 25K on AP last night. I played that. I was my best result. I got third. Just because the field's so soft, it's hard to give those tourneys because it reduces variance so much. Right. So I usually get like 12 to 15 going.
All MTTs?
All MTTs, yeah.
Wow, so that's like every $10 rebuy and bigger on up?
No. It's mostly they're at least $100 buy-ins. I mean, if I started playing $10 tournaments too, I'd be literally be in 30 or 35.
Oh wow.
So no cash games at all for you?
I do on occasion play some 2-7 low triple draw and stars, but my mind does not work well when I'm trying to do an MTT and a cash game at the same time. They're totally different games, and usually when I get into a lot of tables, I get on autopilot, so I can't do a cash game and an MTT at the same time.
Right. You said you were chasing the Online Player of the Year. First off, kind of give us a quick update of where you're at in those standings and how it looks for the rest of the year.
It's basically a 2 or 3 horse race right now. I just fell to second in the last week to Getting Daisy, who's obviously very good. But we're pretty much neck and neck. If I was to win any qualifying tournament or top 5 in any qualifying tournament, I would take over the lead again. So it's very close. It's a tough grind. I had to take off 2 separate months, so that kind of hurt me. But because it's the end of September now, I'm pretty much committing to going for it and see where I end up.
What is your motivation to chase Online Player of the Year? Is it a personal thing that you want to achieve, or is there actually some value there?
Well, there is some value. Like, I mean, you would get some exposure, quite obviously. You get the cover of Card Player, so, I mean, I think that comes with $5,000 for automatically getting the cover. Also, every Online Player of the Year has been signed by our card room. The recent winners like Wes Menlo, G. Burrow last year, AJK Hoosiers the year before, they all won Online Player of the Year and then immediately got signed. So I figure that's one way to do it, is to win that.
Very cool, and good luck with that. And also, you have a Tournament Poker Edge hat on, and obviously title sponsor of Poker Road Radio. We're doing a lot of stuff with you guys, and we really like the product and are happy to build that relationship there. How did you get involved with them?
It was actually brought to me by Ween. I'm sure you guys know who he is. Jonathan Ween, he's a fellow Tournament Poker Edge pro. And him and me have been friends for a long time, and I just know him as a stand-up guy and a good individual. And when he brought it to me, because I had been offered a couple other little training things here and there, when he brought it to me, it's something I had to seriously consider just because of who the person he was. And then I looked into it, and these guys had a good business plan, and they all seemed like really solid guys. I talked to them for hours and hours before I committed, and I'm so glad I did it because it's a great experience, and I'm very happy I went.
Devo, you got a little bit of experience with this. When I was talking to Casey over the summer, we were talking about how making the videos, you know, not only are you producing a product that has some value outside of poker, but just the process of going through and creating a training video forces you to evaluate your own play and to get better yourself. Casey, how much is that, where have you seen that come into your game?
It's absolutely true. Like, when I first started making videos, probably the first 4 or 5 nights I made videos, I won a tournament. And at first I thought it was just a coincidence, but then I realized I don't want to end up looking like a complete idiot when I'm making this video, you know, tooling out with 3-8 of hearts or something on 5-bet shove. So I still make those moves occasionally, but I kind of tone it down a little bit and really try and get a good read on the table so I can explain to everybody why I'm doing certain things. So it definitely is a help when you're recording a video.
For sure, when you're, when everything you're doing has to be explained as to why you're doing it well, like, you don't do dumb shit anymore, and it's it's pretty easy to be playing optimally because you're defending yourself, and, like, it totally helps just video production.
Right. Like, emotionally, sometimes it takes over when you're, like, at a table. You just be like, screw this guy, I'm 5-bet shoving him or something.
Right.
But you won't do that on a video just because, you don't want to look like a complete idiot. So it helps in that regard, too.
For sure.
Casey, how many videos are you personally putting out, a week or a month or whatever your time schedule might be now?
Well, with the 6 pros, and we're committed to releasing at least one video a week, one video a day, there's not as much demand on me, but I'm committed to make 4 to 5 videos a month, but I make way more than that. Like, if I was to do a session tonight, it would more than likely be 5 hours long, so that's automatically 5 videos. But I try and get as many out there as I can because I know people like to watch the big dog play. So, and I like recording, so I don't have an issue with it. So I would put as many as I can out there for sure.
Cool. Wow, just totally lost my train of thought.
Sorry, quick answers from me, I guess.
No, I got it back. I got caught up in listening to you and forgot what I was thinking. Tournament Poker Edge has been up for a few months now, 4, 5, 6 months, something in that range.
We opened April 17th.
Wow, time's going fast.
Yes,
of all the videos you put up since then, if you were to send somebody to your site right now and say, hey, this is my single best video, you should really check this out, which one would it be?
There's a lot of different ones for a lot of different reasons. Like the theory videos, a lot of people seem to get a lot out of those. Those are videos that focus on one concept. Like I've done one on value versus showdown value and one on 3-bet shoving. So if you're just looking to improve one aspect of your game, that would be a good one. But I also have different videos where I'm deep in huge tournaments like the 1K on Stars. But I also did a video where I did a 50-cent rebuy on Absolute Poker. So it kind of depends what the person is looking for. I also have a horse video out there. So it kind of looks what the person is looking for. But I would say the one that has the most variety, has a horse tournament and deep and early stages, is Big Dog Live Sweat 4, one of my first videos. And I think that video is really well done, and that's probably the one I'd recommend for people to check out.
All right, well, guys, get over to tournamentpokeredge.com and check that out. Like I said, it's $19.95, 1 month, no commitment. I think that's my favorite thing about the business plan at Tournament Poker Edge is you don't feel like you have to commit $200, $300, $400, $500 to see what's there. For $20, which we all blow $20 all the time on stupid stuff, for $20 you can get in there for a month and check it out and see if you like it before you're really committing any significant money to the site. Find out if there's any value for you there or not without, very, very limited risk. Even for smaller stakes players, $20 is something everybody can come up with. So
that's
I really
real
like
cheap
that.
for out there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really competing with that price point right now.
Yeah, the no sign-up fee is key too. Like a lot of sites offer a lot of different things, but you're looking at $200 just to sign up. So we didn't want to do that. We wanted to offer a quality product for as cheap as we could and give people what they really want. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, the community feel of the place where everybody feels like they're friends and it's a tight-knit community, and I don't know, I really like the feel of the place. It reminds me a lot of how PokerRoad is and was the last couple of years, as far as just the attitude of people there trying to help each other and have a good time while they're doing it.
For sure, like one of the main plugs or one of the main things that our site offers that others does not is we have a community because all of the pros have a vested interest in the actual site. So like almost every single night I'm playing, I'm in the Tournament Poker Edge chat. So that means any member can talk to me for hours and hours and hours all night long in the Tournament Poker Edge. You won't get that on other training sites. You get some great instructors, there's no doubt about it, but there's no actual interaction with them. Where I'm in the forums or I'm in the chat every single night, and people really like that, and they really feel like they're part of a team.
Absolutely. Casey, to take this another direction, I saw you this summer, and you were talking about not necessarily coming back to play the WSOP main event, which surprised me a lot, actually. Just it seems like a player that plays as much as you do and has been as successful as you are, that playing the main event is just something you almost have to do every year. What made you make the decision that you might consider taking off on the main event?
Well, this is going to seem strange, but I tilt pretty hard when I play live tournaments, and I only played 5 WSOP tournaments this year, and I went really deep in 2 of them. 2 of the 1500s with 3,000 people, I got top 100 in, and as soon as that happens, I just go home. Like I'll even be registered. I was registered for a 2K the next day, and I busted the 1500, and I flew home. So I just wasted 2K. I just booked a flight and flew home. So when I get that way, I just do not want to play live. I'd rather play in my basement, and if I bust a few tournaments, I can smash a monitor and feel better. But at a live tournament, I'm just in a funk when I bust. So I had just busted the 1500 when I had seen you. Or no, I was in the 1500 day 2. There was 90 people left. And then I busted and I just went home and didn't even bother thinking about coming back. So, I don't know, it's kind of weird. So say that again?
Where's home?
It's Ontario, Canada, so it's like a 5-hour flight to Vegas, so it's pretty far. But, I live near Toronto, about an hour south of Toronto, about 15 minutes from Buffalo, actually.
And not long after the summer, the next thing I heard about you was actually that you were in a hospital and had a heart attack. Tell us a little bit of the story there.
Yeah, heart attack's pretty prevalent in my family. My mom's had one. My uncle died in his 30s. My grandfather had 8 in his 40s. So it's pretty prevalent. And obviously, I'm a big guy. I have been working on losing weight since I've lost a heart attack. Since I've had a heart attack, I've lost 25 pounds. But yeah, it was pretty scary. I was just sitting around one day when a couple buddies called up and wanted to go out to my backyard for a swim. I said, sure, I'll meet you out there. I was running some vodka to the back pool and just the heart attack hit. It was pretty scary. A lot of pain. Had the surgery, got some stents put in. And that's why I had to take another month off poker, so that really hurt me for the Online Player of the Year. But the day I came back from the heart attack after my 30 days when my doctor said I could start playing again, I won the 100 rebuy WCOOP, so it put me right back into the lead, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it was a scary situation and a real wake-up call. My girlfriend has me on a strict diet now. Unless it grows out of the ground, I'm pretty much not eating it. So I'm trying to get healthy, and hopefully that happens for me.
Good deal. Glad to hear that everything worked out. That's a scary situation and something that, you know, a lot of people in the poker world, heart attack is not something that a lot of online grinders think about very often. But, you know, with the lifestyle of sitting in front of a computer all day, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a heart attack in your 30s or 40s, but it can definitely lead that way if you already have some genetic predisposition for that to happen. So something, you know, it definitely made me think about things of, you know, wow, this happens to a guy that I saw just a few weeks ago and he looked perfectly fine. Nothing was wrong with him. You know, relatively young and seemed pretty healthy. And, I don't know, it just made me step back and think things like that always catch my attention. So, the PokerRoad family is glad to hear that you've recovered and are doing well. And, we wish you the best of the luck in your Online Player of the Year, Chase. We'll be following along and see how you do, and maybe once you close the deal, we'll have you back on to give us another update on it.
Hey, that sounds really good. Had a good time doing this with you guys. My first experience doing this sort of thing, and it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Right on.
Thanks. Appreciate you coming on, Casey, and everybody can check out more from Casey Big Dog Pocket Fives Jarzabek at tournamentpokeredge.com, where he is a lead instructor putting out great videos. We'll be back with more Poker Road Radio, brought to you by that very same Tournament Poker Edge, right after this.
See you, Casey.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Later.
Support PokerRoad and get money back at the same time. PokerRoad.com is now offering an exclusive PokerRoad Rakeback program. Get 27 to 40% back from sites like Full Tilt Poker, Doyle's Room, and Cake Poker. Increase your earning power with cash prizes from our rake races and chases, 24/7 support, a PokerRoad forum dedicated to Rakeback, and new promotions each month, plus more sites to be added soon. Go to PokerRoad.com and click the Rakeback button for more info and deals. PokerRoad Rakeback, the only way to earn money and support the best poker site in the world, all at the same time.
Hey MTT players, tired of training sites that focus on cash games with only the occasional tournament video? Well, I'm Casey Big Dog Pocket Fives Jarzabek, Card Player's #1 ranked online tournament player, and I'd like to tell you about TournamentPokerEdge.com, where you can learn to ship it like the big dog. TournamentPokerEdge.com focuses exclusively on tournaments and offers innovative training for low, mid, and high stakes players. And for only $19.95 a month with no sign-up fee, TournamentPokerEdge.com is the perfect way for you to start learning how to crush tournaments today.
Welcome back to Poker Road Radio. My big dog that's not supposed to come up the steps has just made it up here and is coming over to visit me. So if we hear a Great Dane barking in the background, that's me. Jimmy, are you asleep over there?
Nope. Hi.
Talkative as always. You definitely have a future in broadcasting, bud.
Well,
He's a broadcasting genius.
See, okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there, okay, guys. When you guys let me be on my laptop just after waking up, holding a radio show, I'm sorry. I'm gonna surf. I'm gonna read emails. I'm gonna catch up on everything that happened while I was sleeping. So I'm sorry, you guys. Plus, I made a joke during Casey's segment. And no one freaking laughed. So I'm sorry. I'm out. Screw that. I'm not here for this bullshit.
You made a joke.
I realized that my mic was, I think, unplugged during it. So, all right, I'll cut you guys a little bit of slack there, but no more.
That's such bullshit.
I agree. Thank you, Gavin.
Wait a second. I just heard Gavin Smith. And speaking of which, Devo, you have a charity event for Darius Goes West that you and Gavin are doing together coming up soon. Give us the details on that.
Nice transition, Court.
I know. God, there's such an agenda now. Court sold out.
Sold out to the man. I sold out to the man. His name is Darius.
Yeah, Saturday evening. I'm pretty excited for the event. It's at the Hard Rock. Starts at 5 p.m. It's a $200 plus 20 buy-in with $50 rebuys, and some of that money is going to generate a cash prize pool, and the rest is going to go to charity. And, yeah, it's for Darius Goes West, which is a really cool organization that has moved me and inspired me a lot, and I'm stoked to do this event this weekend. Darius turns 21, so it's going to be a party, and it's also going to be fun.
Give us a 3-minute rundown of the Darius story.
All right, so I was in Florida, at the University of Florida, visiting Gavin's ex-girlfriend. We went to see a documentary called Darius Goes West. It was about a kid with Duchenne's muscular dystrophy whose older brother died of the disease, and the kid decided that he had to do something to raise awareness about the disease and try to raise some money so we can find a cure. So he decided that he wanted to get his wheelchair pimped on MTV's Pimp My Ride and use that as a vehicle to reach a younger generation about Duchenne's, who is like, you never heard of Jerry Lewis.
That was like a pun. Use his vehicle,
So they packed up a motorhome, a bunch of these kids, the counselors from this camp, and they made a documentary about the trip. Fuck you guys. They made a documentary, and that's what I saw. And so I was like, this is awesome. I want to help out any way possible, and this is how it's manifested itself.
Yeah, at the World Series this year, there was a whole box of Darius Goes West DVDs that I saw you handing out throughout the course of the year. Who else, other than Gavin, did any other notable names jump on board with this?
Oh, I don't know. I need to call them all today and see who's on and who's not, because Lisa Wheeler's running the event, and she's been kind of in charge of coordinating for the last 2 months while I've been gone, and I'm just barely getting caught up right now. But, I mean, I gave a lot of people the DVDs, and it's a moving story, and I think that whoever's not in Europe will probably end up showing up.
Gone for 2 months out in the middle of a ranch in Colorado. How did that happen, and how did that go?
It was fantastic. It was one of the better trips of my life. It was very just refreshing. Buddy of mine that I guided with in Colorado, when that company folded up, him and his wife bought out the business end of this ranch called Bear Basin Ranch. And they do everything from 2-hour-long trail rides to 5-day-long pack trips in the Sangre de Cristo wilderness. And so I was out there in September and January and just love it out there, and was trying to think about where I was going to go this summer, because I always leave Vegas while it's hotter than hell. I was like, yeah, if I can hang out at the ranch and you teach me how to be a cowboy, I'll work for you for free. So he's like, all right, that's cool. And that's what I did. Worked for free and learned how to be a cowboy, and it was fantastic.
Some of the pictures you sent through Twitter or wherever else were pretty amazing. Just looked like an awesome place to spend some time.
Yeah, I told you that it's flat enough for your lake, but it's still beautiful.
Yeah, I'm stuck here in North Carolina. The life is too good here. Life is too good. I managed to play an all-night session last night. The Wednesday night Pot Limit Omaha 8 or better game. It's a 5-10-20 game with a fairly regular 40 straddle. It's caught on so well that now there's another game that's pretty similar that's popped up about an hour away. It's a 1-2-5 PLO8 game. So I went and played that last night and ended up playing until about 7 o'clock this morning. So it was a lot smaller game, and I don't know, I tried just playing really tight, which is the new thing for me in these games around here, and it went all right. I didn't pick up any huge hands, but was still able to show a slight profit, which I guess is pretty good, because I think had I been playing the big game that I usually play and got the hands that I got, I would have probably lost a bunch of money.
What are huge hands, since you have to have 2 pair to win the high?
That's the other reason I went to this game the other night is they do not have 2-pair for high. And actually, I didn't win but a few pots, and one of them that I won with I scooped with a pair, and then I got 3/4 of one with the nut lows that I chopped and a pair that got me the high. So
Right.
yeah, that whole winning with a pair thing was pretty nice. I probably would have shown a loss last night had I not been able to win with a pair. Ace 2 3 whatever. Ace 2 3 4, Ace 2 3 5, Ace 2 3 6, Ace 3 5 6 is a hand that I like a lot. I don't know if it's as strong as I think it is, but it seems to play pretty well and make a lot of hands that win a lot of the pots.
So cute. You have a favorite hand.
But I really like. I found out, I don't know. Trial and error has shown me that a 6 is a pretty important card because you end up quartering people a lot when they make a wheel and you make a 6 high. So I've learned that a pair of aces isn't worth a whole lot when you have to have 2 pair to qualify.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't know that I've won any significant pots yet when I have aces in the hole.
Yeah.
And if I did, it wasn't playing the aces as either of my cards. It was always that whatever random other 2 cards I had that ended up winning the pot. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure playing a pair in your hand in that kind of qualifier game is just awful.
Jimmy, what is like a hand that, it's not, oh great, I have this hand, let's get as much in as we can, but this hand stands to be the best, and I'm still willing to get it in as much as I can pre-flop in a game like that with a 2-pair qualifier?
Just rundowns, low rundowns would be awesome. Ace, deuce, 3, 4, obviously, like deuce, 3, 4, 5. Those hands would be do pretty well. But like, I've run the numbers before. Something like ace, ace, king, or ace, ace, king, king double suited is like a huge underdog to like 4 random low cards in that game. It's like a gigantic underdog. So if you get it in with just a high hand in that game, it's just not very. With like aces in that game, it's just awful. Like you could probably see a flop, just try and flop a set, but after that, just fold.
Yeah, I have not been. I've definitely been playing the low rundowns more so than the pairs. Hands where I have 2-pair in the hold. So far, they've not worked out very well for me. So I've been playing them pretty slowly, even if the pair, like you're talking about, happens to be ace ace king king or ace ace queen queen, something like that.
See, the way the game should be affected, basically, is that the game post-flop, if you're just seeing, like, flops, it shouldn't really be affected that much. But if you're, like, pre-flop, it basically makes it more of a post-flop game because you can't jam aces pre.
Right.
That's really where the biggest change comes in, as far as I can tell. So, if you just wait... Say again?
It also makes lows a lot more powerful because you have the ability to scoop a pot with a low.
Yeah,
right.
Pairs are just completely awful. They're already bad in PLO, but they're bad in PLO 8, and now you can't get 2-pair. I mean, even if you do flop a set, what are you going to be getting it in against? Like, you're not going to have very much equity.
It doesn't make lows that much more powerful, though, just because, like, if you get it in against someone, and you have the nut low, like, they're not going to be getting it in without, like, if they don't have the nut low, unless they have, like, a really strong high hand, like a set and, like, a counterfeit low draw or something, like.
What?
Like, what?
No
You don't
way,
know this
bud.
game.
Well, I'm talking theoretically. You're talking with your retard home game people.
I've seen a guy get to the river in a potted on every street pot without looking but at one of his cards.
So why don't you just get it all in pre with 4 low cards and win all the money? That's what you should do. Have fun.
Well, that's the plan. When you say 4 low cards, what is the highest low card you would go with?
I mean cards that can make a low. Yeah, the 8.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Hey, that's a rundown. That's the nuts.
Yeah, like in that game, it actually doesn't seem that bad at all. Like
Yeah,
you need to be
I
able
like
to make you need to be able to make the high hands too. So, like, I don't know, like if you just calculate like all the hands, like when you have the 5, 6, 7, 8, like if you discount all of the strong one-pair hands that can beat you. It's just like, your hand is a monster. And those guys are still going to be playing like pieces of cheese, like King Jack 9-4, Jack 9-4-4, like 10-9-5-4, like hands like that. And you're going to be playing like 8-7-6-5, and you have the nuts compared to them. IMO.
Jimmy, why are you not coming out here to play in this game? You sound like you're salivating over it. Come on out.
No, I don't salivate over poker anymore.
Yeah, but this is fun poker.
I guess. I have a new roommate, so I decided I can't go anywhere for a bit because I'm showing him how awesome Vegas can be. In my own way.
Vegas looks pretty awesome for you today.
Yeah. Well, it's dark in my Vegas today.
So we are almost into October with the Festa Al Lago WPT event at the Bellagio coming up, and the prelims start October 8th. Either any of you have plans to play anything there?
Yes.
I'll probably play the prelims for sure. I don't know if I'm playing the main event.
I'm playing a week's worth of prelims, and then I'm going to Chicago for the weekend of the main event, so I'll miss that.
What takes you to Chicago? Right. I just got back from there.
I'm looking forward to playing live tournaments, actually, because I haven't been traveling at all, and there hasn't been very much in Vegas that I've wanted to play. The Hard Rock's okay, but I didn't really want to play there very often because I didn't like the atmosphere of the room very much, honestly.
Devo, what takes you to Chicago? I just got back from there about a week ago.
I am my girlfriend's date for this USO thing on the 16th.
Ah, very cool. Very, very cool. I noticed with the Festa Al Lago schedule, the main event starts whatever day, the 15th, and then there's a 5K tournament that starts day 4 of the main event. I've not seen this before. What do you guys think of that?
I think it's a bad idea. Everyone should be gone by then.
The Bellagio sucks and makes no sense.
No, I mean, at least there's not $18,000 rebuy events.
Right, but I mean, it seems like they're not even trying. Like, Clayton Newman had this amazing idea, basically like using Twitter to the new Poker Room's advantage in Twitter, where basically you can post like what games you have going on Twitter every once an hour or something, and I think that would drastically help increase business because people will know what games are going and they don't have to call the Poker Room, which is kind of annoying every once in a while. I tried to talk to the people at the Bellagio about it. I talked to Carmen. Carmen's an awesome foreperson there, and she said they've been trying to get something like that done for a bit with Doug Dalton and some of the higher ups, and they just won't do it. For no reason. It's free. It's free. It takes 2 seconds to set up. And they're just the bureaucracy there is so absolutely ridiculous, but yet it's one guy who controls everything. It's just ridiculous to me.
It does sound like a pretty cool use of technology there. I would add the Bellagio to my Twitter feed, and then when I'm in Vegas, if I'm trying to decide where to go play, if I see that, they're telling me there's good games there or whatever, 3 or 4 or 5 10 tables and 3 or 4 10 20 tables, I'm more likely to go over there than if I don't know that information. So I kind of agree with you there. I don't see why they wouldn't do something like that. And it's probably even more important for the smaller rooms that don't necessarily always have a game going. A few years ago, Caesar's Palace used to have a great 5-10 game, but it didn't run all the time. And yeah. I would call over there a lot. Actually, I got to be friends with one of the floor people there, and when they knew I was in town, they would call me if the game got going. But something where people could check, I think, once a game got going, it would keep it going and get a lot of people in there playing. So I can't imagine it'll be too long before we have some early adopters on technology like that.
Yeah, one would hope. I mean, especially with Twitter, because it's free and it takes 20 seconds to set up. Everyone's using Twitter now. I just don't understand why people can't use technology to their advantage like that.
Technology
Just make an account and put it in Carmen's hands.
That's what I was thinking, actually, but she'd probably get fired, so...
No way.
So, Jimmy, why have you not joined us in the PokerRoad League yet? It seems like something you could have some fun with. It's poker, but not really poker.
There's a PokerRoad League? I have no interest in playing online. It's just not something I enjoy doing anymore. Sitting around playing these. Every once in a while, I'll play a super turbo tournament, and that's basically all I do. If I just want to punt $100, basically. I don't know.
Well, if just punting $100 is your desire, I can give you my account names, and whenever you're ready, you can just transfer it over and save yourself the effort of actually losing the tournament.
Thanks, Court. Thank you. This is what I've been trying to get all along.
Anytime. Yes, there is a PokerRoad League. We are going into the final game of an 8-game season, and then there's a championship tournament with $3,000 overlay in live prize packages in the championship tournament. Anybody that's not in on that, you can check it out. PokerRoad League has a heading in the nav bar on PokerRoad.com. You can check it out there. All the tournaments are $33 buy-ins on Broadway tables, and it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed playing in most of them, and it's been a good time, and it's definitely worth. If you play mid-stakes tournaments, there's value in this, and this season's about over, but there'll be another one kicking off in just a few weeks, so stay tuned for that. And Jimmy, give it a shot. Maybe it'll give you the motivation to get back into playing poker, to have a little fun with it.
Thank you, Court. That was informative. That was very informing. Perhaps I will consider it in the future.
Oh, Jimmy. You still need to come out here and hang out. Give you a new outlook on life.
Are you going to launch into a North Carolina travel brochure now?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I'll consider it. I actually am thinking about taking a trip and visiting some friends on the East Coast. So if I do that, I will definitely include you in part of the trip. So.
Yeah,
but I just don't know when it's. Hey, if I disappoint you, I'm going to disappoint everyone now, and God knows I love doing that. But maybe I won't this time.
I'll believe it when you call me and tell me you're at the airport to come pick you up.
Hey, if I can't get a ride in Court's truck at least once in my life, it's going to be a bad life. Seriously. I just want that at least one time.
And you have an open invite. You can come anytime you would like.
That works out well then. I'll probably come out during a poker tournament I'll come in during the World Series and you're out here. You're like, hi, Court.
Yeah, well, you're still welcome. We'll leave a key under the mat for you. You'll be good to go. Make yourself at home.
Okay. I'll just start walking door to door and be like, hi, do you guys have a home game going?
Yeah, you have to walk a long way. There's none near my house. I live at least 30 minutes from the closest game that I know of. So, borrow one of the trucks. Keys are in the drawer.
Yeah, he has 2 trucks.
Ooh.
Yeah, we've got, between me and my girlfriend, we have 4 vehicles now. She just bought a new car. So there's plenty of vehicles sitting around for anybody that comes to visit if you need something to drive.
Gotta put something in the front yard.
If I come visit, can we pretend to be the Dukes of Hazzard? That's all I want.
We don't have to wait on you to come visit to pretend that.
That's everyday life, man.
Absolutely. No, Devo, you called me the other day, and we're planning on coming out the next day if we could find a flight. But one of the negatives of living near Charlotte is that there's never a cheap flight unless you book it at least 3 or 4 weeks out in advance. So are you still planning on trying to head this way at all?
I don't know. Eventually, I mean, U.S. Airways just sucks so much. Yeah, I don't know. I think I might be pretty busy now, starting tomorrow. Because I got this event this weekend, and then Festa, and then that goes straight into Chicago, which goes into the Hammond tournaments up there. And then I've got like a week off around Halloween. And then Brandon Cantu gets married November 5th. And then I go to Costa Rica. And then LA for the NAPT. And then Thanksgiving. Phew.
Wow, busy boy.
Yeah.
Well, when you take 3 months off, you aren't allowed to, like, just come back and everything's simple. You missed a lot of stuff, buddy. You got to get back in there.
Yeah, that's true, and I am. And it feels really good to be back in. Like, I'm more motivated to play poker than I have been since I moved here in 2006. And
yep.
I'm winning a lot. It's fun.
Awesome.
Winning is very much fun, and losing is not so much.
That's a fact.
And the value of taking time off is twofold. One, you can enjoy the time, away from poker, but then when you come back to your normal daily grind, you want to do it again. There's a reason that our daily lives are what they are, and usually because it's what we like. So sometimes getting away from it for a little bit can get you rejuvenated and back into it. So glad to hear that things are going well for you. Jimmy just informed me that his battery is about dead, but
indeed, I'm walking out to my battery recharger.
Wow,
yeah,
Jimmy in the light. Good to see you, buddy.
Walking into the light. Yeah, you can see my wonderful hair and my wonderful fat rolls.
Well, I'm glad that now we're down to the last 2 minutes of the show. You finally got in the light. Maybe next time you can sit in the light for half the show.
Listen, buddy, when you wake up, okay, I don't know about you, but I had literally just woken up, and I don't sleep in pants, so...
Well, sometimes you can wake up before the scheduled show at noon.
They just said that you just woken up, too, so...
I woke up at
buddy,
11:30 and made coffee and got going.
You're not a saint, okay, and they're on the East Coast.
I ain't.
Well, of course on the East Coast. We're not seeing how exactly John's messed up this morning. John's hair is messed up, too.
He doesn't have hair.
I know. It's funny. I made a joke there.
Oh, I see what you did there. Thank you.
Earlier, I gave the wrong email address. You can email me, court@PokerRoad.com. I'm positive that is the correct one. So if you have any input or anything that you would like for me to talk about or any feedback on the shows that I am hosting, court@PokerRoad.com, and that will get to me. But send an email at prradio@PokerRoad.com, not PokerRoad Radio, prradio@PokerRoad.com, or even better, leave a voicemail, 877-836-ROAD. Bye, Jimmy. I'm guessing the battery went kaput. 877-836-ROAD to leave a voicemail for State. He'll be doing shows on Friday and Saturday with trying to round up some guests from London. Thanks to our sponsor, Tournament Poker Edge, and lead instructor Casey Jarc for coming on. For Jimmy Freaky and Brian Devonshire, I am Court Harrington. Thanks for listening to Poker Road Radio.
See y'all.